Hi there. Welcome to Music Magic. My name is Sanaya, and I'm here to tell you about storytelling and music. Hello again. Thanks for sticking around.
Hey, who are you talking to?
Oh, hi, Arpeggio. I'm talking to them.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about them? That's a camera.
I know, Arp.
You mean we're on TV?
That's right.
Well, how do I look? Is my fur smooth? Are my ears straight? Do
You
I
look
okay?
fine, Arp.
Oh.
I was about to tell everyone a story. So why don't you entertain them while I get ready?
Oh, sure. No problem. Hey, I was born to be a star. Ta-da!
Thanks, Arp. I'll take it from here.
Hey, that's not fair. My 15 minutes of fame only lasted 10 seconds.
Sorry, Arp. Why don't you just relax and listen?
Okay, get comfortable.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Listen, I want to ask you a question. Have any of you ever had trouble?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story about trouble right now, and Jeff is going to help me out. I guess you could say I've had lots of trouble, too. As a matter of fact, I even have a song about it, and it goes like this. Trouble, trouble, all I got is trouble. Trouble, trouble, everywhere I roam. Can you sing that with me? Trouble, trouble, all I got is trouble. Trouble, trouble, everywhere I roam. Now you see, it was a hot day in July. Mr. Bear was walking down the dusty road when it came upon Mr. Rabbit.
Hey, how you doing there, Mr. Rabbit?
Not so good.
Why are you looking so down and out? You ought to be feeling good. It's summertime.
Well, Mr. Bear, you must know, I got trouble.
Trouble?
Well, you heard what I said, didn't you? Just listen to my song. Trouble, trouble, all I got is trouble. Trouble, trouble, everywhere I roam. Come on, y'all. Trouble, trouble, all I got is trouble. Trouble, trouble, everywhere I roam. I got trouble with my children, and I got trouble with my house, and I got trouble with the food I get to put inside my mouth. I got so much trouble, Mr. Bear, I just don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, what do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? I just told you. I got trouble.
I heard what you said there, Mr. Rabbit, but, just what is trouble?
What? You mean to tell me that you don't know what trouble is? You ain't never had no trouble?
Well, if I did, I didn't know anything about it.
Well, what you been doing, Mr. Bear, that you ain't never had no trouble?
Oh, let's see now. Well, I sleep mostly all through the winter. And when I'm not sleeping, I'm gathering up food for the family so we can make it through the hard times. But this trouble you're talking about, I don't think I ever had none of that, nope.
Well, Mr. Bear, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna do you a favor.
Really?
I'm gonna show you what trouble is.
Oh, that'd be awfully nice of you, Mr. Rabbit.
Well, first, Mr. Bear, I think we ought to take a little walk.
Okay.
See this nice grassy field here.
Oh, yeah.
Grass is nice and soft, and look at all these flowers. Don't they smell good?
Yeah, they smell so good and they're so pretty.
Mr. Bear, why don't you lay down and take yourself a little nap?
Hey, that's an idea. I could lay down right here.
Well, Mr. Bear, look over there. I see that nice little dirt hill. You could use that for a pillow to rest your weary head.
Oh, yeah, that would be softer, wouldn't it? That's a good idea. Let me see.
Oh, that's nice. And Mr. Bear, when you wake up, I promise, you'll know what trouble is. Well, it wasn't long before Mr. Bear was sound asleep. Now, what Mr. Rabbit didn't tell him was that that little dirt hill was actually an ant hill. Now, one by one, those ants began crawling out of that hill. They crawled up along the side of Mr. Bear's face, all across his forehead, into his ear, down his nose, all over the place, and they tickled him something terrible.
Oh, ants! Trouble! Trouble! Trouble, Mr. Rabbit! That was an anthill right there!
Uh-huh, that's what it was. Now you know, Mr. Bear. Now you know what trouble is.
That's right, Mr. Rabbit. I know what trouble is, but if I ever catch you, you'll have more trouble than you had in your whole life.
But by that time, the rabbit was already hopping down the road, singing his crazy song again. Trouble, trouble, all I got is trouble. Trouble, trouble, everywhere I roam. Trouble, trouble, all I got is trouble. Trouble, trouble, everywhere I roam. ARP.
Oh.
So, did you like the story?
The story. Oh, yes, very much, Sanaya.
Oh, come on, ARP. You were sound asleep during the entire thing.
Well, that's true, but I've heard so many of your stories, and I'm sure this one wasn't any different from the others. I mean, after all, what is there to a story? A beginning, a middle, and an end.
Nice try. You know, ARP does have a point. Stories do have beginnings, middles, and ends. But since storytelling is my job, I like to think there's a little more to it than that.
Sanaya, I didn't mean to insult you or anything.
I'm not insulted, ARP. I'm just about to explain what it takes to make up a story.
What could it take? I mean, you start with once upon a time, and you end with they lived happily ever after.
But what happens in between?
Well, just stuff.
Just stuff, huh? Lucky I'm the storyteller and you're the cat.
Hey, what's wrong with being a cat?
Nothing.
Good.
And you're a very handsome cat, too.
Well, thank you.
The stuff in between once upon a time and they lived happily ever after is what storytelling is all about. Usually this stuff has to do with characters.
Wait a minute. What are characters?
Well, the people.
Or cats?
Or cats in the story. Usually in a story, lots of interesting or exciting things happen to these characters, especially to the main character. That's the most important person.
Or cat.
Or cat.
Right.
The main character often learns something during the story because of all the things that happen, just as the bear did in my story, Trouble. Many storytellers use words to tell their stories, but did you know that you can also act out stories?
Wait a minute. Hold it. What are you talking about? Act out a story.
Well, you can tell stories through music and movement. Watch this.
I had an old coat, but the coat got torn.
What'll I do?
I had an old coat, but the coat got torn.
What'll I do?
I had an old coat, but the coat got torn. So I cut it down and a jacket was born.
And I sing every day of my life.
Now in a few years those threads got thin.
What'll I do?
Now in a few years those threads got thin.
What'll I do?
Now in a few years those threads got thin. So I called it a shirt and I tucked it in.
And I sing every day of my life.
The sleeves wore out in the east and west.
What'll I do?
The sleeves wore out in the east and west.
What'll I do?
The sleeves wore out in the east and west. So I pulled them off and I had a vest.
And I sing every day of my life.
I I stained that vest with cherry pie.
Well, I do.
I stained that vest with cherry pie.
Well, I do.
I stained that vest with cherry pie. So I cut and sewed till I had me a tie.
And I sing every day of my life.
Now when that tie was a looking lean.
Well, I do.
Now when that tie was a looking lean.
Well, I do.
Now when that tie was a looking lean, I made a patch for my old blue jeans.
And I sing every day of my life.
Well, when that patch was next to nothing.
Well, I do.
Well, when that patch was next to nothing.
Well, I do.
Well, when that patch was next to nothing, I rolled it up into a button.
And I sing every day of my life.
Well, when that button was almost gone.
Well, I do.
Well, when that button was almost gone.
Well, I do.
Well, when that button was almost gone, with what was left I made this song.
And I sing every day of my life.
Hey, Sanaya, who was that doing all the moves?
That was a mime.
Oh,
Mimes act out stories without talking.
I get it. A mime tells a story through movement.
Right, Arp. But don't forget the song itself. That told the story too. And here's another kind of story. This is Tom Chapin singing the whale song.
Oh.
On a fateful day in the month of May, I was sitting catching fish when a magic whale swam up to the rail and said, "Please make a wish." So I said, "Well, gee, I'd love to be like you, a giant whale." Next thing I knew, I was grayish blue, and I had a 2-ton tail. Sing a whale song, sing a whale song, sing a whale song. As the flounder said to the oyster bed, "Sing a whale song." With a mighty leap I dove down deep and swam out through the cove. Then I raced to the top, did a belly flop, and down again I dove. From the Arctic to the Baltic to the far-off Hebrides, like a submarine through the deep blue green, I swam the 7 seas and sang a whale song. Sing a whale song, sing a whale song. As a dogfish barked to the great white shark, sing a whale song. But there were some things I wish I could forget, like that garbage scow off of Curacao, or the oil spill below Brazil, or getting caught in that giant net, and I couldn't get out, and oh, was I upset. So I had to hail that magic whale who changed me back once more. Said, "Now that you know the great below, we need your help on shore, to tell your tale of being a whale and all you've seen and done. Then wet and dry will unify, and all the world as one will sing a whale song. Sing a whale song, sing a whale song. From the smallest ant to the tallest tree, from the highest peak to the deepest sea, all the world will ring in harmony and sing a whale song."
So, how'd you like the song, Arp?
Hey, not bad. Songs give a whole new meaning to the word story, don't they?
Exactly. The music and the words told that story. But did you know that sometimes you don't even need words at all?
No.
Yes, take dance. Sometimes when people dance, they're just expressing their feelings or creating patterns to music. But other dances tell a story. Have you ever seen the Nutcracker Ballet?
No, can't say that I have. What's it about anyway?
Well, the Nutcracker Ballet tells the story of a little girl named Marie who gets a very special present. Marie is given a red nutcracker doll by her godfather, but Marie's brother is very jealous of her gift. Let's see what happens. You see, there are lots of ways to tell a story. You don't always need words. Movements and music can let you know what's going on too.
Yeah, they can, can't they? And speaking of stories, tell me what happened to Marie and the Nutcracker. Are there any cats in the story?
I'm afraid not, Arp. But there are some mice.
Mice? I'm all ears.
Well, the whole thing starts when Marie gets the Nutcracker for a present. Later that night, Marie comes downstairs, and that's when the mice appear.
Mice? Yeah?
The mice attack all the wooden soldiers. They really scare Marie, and then the Mouse King shows up.